You're the one who wanted to come to town.
It's a great expression of yours, isn't it?
What is?
All this old sports business.
See here.
Yeah, fine.
If you're going to make personal
Over here, please.
If you're going to make personal remarks, I won't stay here a minute. Make us some juleps now.
So, Mr. Gatsby, I understand you're an Oxford man.
Yes, I went there.
Oh, when was this?
I told you I went there.
I heard you. I'd just like to know when.
It was back in 1919. I only stayed for 5 months, so that's why I really can't call myself an Oxford man.
Right.
It was an opportunity that gave some of us absolutely the Augustus. Now, we could have chose any of the universities in England or France. I chose Oxford.
Open the whiskey, Tom, and I'll make you a good julep. Then maybe you won't seem so stupid to yourself. Oh.
Hold on a minute now. I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question.
Oh, go on.
What kind of a row are you trying to cause in my house?
Hate isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control.
Self-control? Oh, my goodness. I suppose the latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from Nowhere make love to your wife. If that's the idea, you can count me out. Nowadays, people begin by sneering in at family life and family institutions. Next thing you know, they throw everything overboard. I've been a marriage between blacks and whites.
Oh, God, Tom!
We're all whites here.
I know I'm not very popular. I don't give big parties and invite every riffraff from Broadway and picture shows. Suppose you have to make your house into a pigsty in order to have new friends.
Now, we can talk about my house later, when there are no ladies present. But what I'm going to tell you, old sport, is
Now, please, Tom. Let's just go home. Why don't we all go home?
That's a good idea, Daisy. Come on, Tom. Listen, nobody wants to drink.
I want to know what Mr. Gatsby has to tell me.
Your wife doesn't love you, all right? She's never loved you. She's loved me.
You must be crazy.
She's never loved you. Do you hear? Hell, the only reason she even married you was because she was tired of waiting around for me. Now, this was a terrible mistake, but in her heart, she's never loved anyone except for me.
All right, look, why don't we all head back to the house?
You're not going anywhere.
Yes, we are, Tom. Come on, Daisy.
It's time somebody finally told you exactly
Are you going to lecture me on character, Tori? That's a laugh. Nick, has your girlfriend here told you about that tournament in Asheville?
Tom!
She cheated to win that tournament. The great golf champion. What do you want to say to me, Tori?
Let's go, Daisy.
Sit down, Daisy!
All right, look,
Stop yelling at her!
I want to know what's been going on.
I told you what's been going on. Going on for the past 5 years, and you didn't know.
You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years.
No, not seeing. We couldn't meet. But that entire time, we loved each other, old sport, and you didn't know.
You're crazy. You're crazy. I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago. I didn't know Daisy then. And I'll be damned if you got within a mile of her. Daisy brought the groceries to the back door. All the rest of that's a goddamn lie. Daisy loved me when she married me. She loves me still.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she does. The trouble is, sometimes she gets foolish ideas in her head. She doesn't know what she's doing. What's more, I love Daisy too. Sometimes I go off on a spree and make a fool of myself. I always come back, don't I, Daisy? Hey, my heart, I love you all the time.
You're revolting. Do you know why we left Chicago? Did they treat you that little story of his and Santa Barbara and the Riviera?
Daisy, everything's going to be fine. Just tell him the truth. Tell him that you never loved him, and the soul will be wiped away forever.
Why? How could I love him? Possibly.
You never loved him.
I never loved him.
Not that day.
No.
Not that day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry? Daisy.
Please don't. There, Jay. Oh, you want too much. I love you now. Isn't that enough? I did love him once. But I loved you too.
I loved you too.
Even that's a lie. Daisy didn't know you were alive. There are things between me and Daisy you'll never know. Things neither of us could ever forget.
I'm going to speak to Daisy alone. She's getting all excited now.
No. Even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. It wouldn't get it through.
Of course it would.
As if it mattered to you.
Of course it matters. I'm going to take better care of you from now on.
You don't understand. You're not going to take care of her anymore.
I'm not. Why's that?
Daisy's leaving you.
Nonsense.
I am, though.
She's not leaving me. Certainly not for a common swindler who'd have to steal the ring you put on her finger.
Please, let's go home. It's so hot. So hot.
I'll take care of you, Daisy.
Who are you anyhow? You're one of that bunch that hangs around with Meyer Wolfsheim. That much I happen to know.
Let's go, Daisy.
I made a little investigation into your affairs, Mr. Gatsby.
Well, you can suit yourself about that, old sport.
I found out about what your drug stores were. What about them? He and this Wolfsheim bought up a lot of side street drugstores here and in Chicago. He sold grain alcohol all over the county. That's just one of his little stunts. I picked you for a bootlegger the first time I saw you. I wasn't far wrong.
Oh, it's prohibition. Nobody cares. And besides, where do you get your booze from, old sport?
Stop calling me old sport. This drugstore business is just small change. You got something on now that everyone's afraid to tell me about. Something to do with Wolfsheim. I'm gonna find out about it, old sport. You bet your ass about that.
Stop it!
What? What, you gonna kill me, old sport? Keys, please. And you'll excuse me.
Want any of this stuff? Jordan? Nick? Nick?
What?
Want any of this?
No.
What the hell's the matter?
I just realized today's my birthday. I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. I was 30, and before me stretched the menacing road of a new decade. It was about 7 o'clock when we got into the coupe to start the long drive toward Long Island. Tom talked incessantly, exulting and laughing as if he'd won a football match. Human sympathy has its limits. And sitting beside me, her head on my shoulder, Daisy nestled close to me, but I didn't know her anymore. 30. The promise of a decade of loneliness. A thinning list of single men to get to know. A thinning briefcase of enthusiasm, thinning hair! So we drove on. Toward death. Through the cooling twilight.